Welcome to the 2021 Business Insurance Breakout Awards. I'm Keith Kenner, publisher of Business Insurance. The 40 honorees that we celebrate today represent some of the most talented leaders emerging in the industry. This dynamic group of 2021 Breakout Award winners not only adapted to new ways of working during the coronavirus pandemic, but found real ways to excel amid these very challenging conditions. Back in 2013, BI launched the awards program as 40 Under 40. Originally, the awards were only for brokers under the age of 40, but in 2017, we thought it was important to rebrand and relaunch the program as Breakout Awards. So anybody working within the commercial insurance and risk management sectors with less than 15 years experience would be eligible. Not only was this a great idea, it created a more inclusive program identifying today's up-and-coming leaders across the industry. In the 4 years since, we have witnessed increased nominations year over year and increased significance of the award within the industry itself. In today's program, we will hear from some past Breakout Award honorees on their personal thoughts on the significance of winning a Breakout Award and how the award has helped their own career development. On behalf of Business Insurance, congratulations to our 2021 Breakout Award winners. It is now my pleasure to introduce award-winning actor and comedian Anthony Anderson, who will offer his own personal congratulations to our 2021 Breakout Award winners.
Hey everybody, Anthony Anderson, and I'm here to help congratulate the 2021 Breakout Award winners. 40 top young professionals from across the U.S. on track to be the next leaders in risk management and property casualty insurance. You're being recognized for your leadership and professional skills. Keep up the good work.
I'd now like to take this opportunity to highlight and thank our 2021 Breakout Award sponsors, starting with our gold sponsor, Claimant, and our silver sponsors, AIG, Alliant, AXA XL, and Sedgwick. Thank you so much for your support of this important program. I'd now like to introduce Renee Louie, Vice President of Pro Group Captive Management Services and our esteemed MC for today's program. Over to you, Renee.
Thank you, Keith, for that kind introduction. You know, we just love you. We're so excited to guide everyone through today's tour of amazing winners. Now first, before we get started, let me say, as longtime professional in the industry, we couldn't be more prouder of each of the winners today. They were hand-selected. And on a side note, if I mispronounce your name, apologies in advance. And the next time we see each other, the beverages are on me to celebrate you. So let's visit the West and reveal our Breakout Award winners in an incredible field of great professionals in the West. Are you ready? To start us off in the West, the winners are Stephanie Bizzuto, William C., Ashley Fong, Shannon Gunderson, Jessica Hanneman, Brett Rikeson, Conor Sweeney, Chris Favini, Caroline Thompson, and last but not least in the West, Amy Torres.
I would have to say my mentor to this day is my father, Dan Bizzuto. He founded our company, Bizzuto Insurance, back in 1978 and grew it from a little seed of just himself into a group of 45 people. And we then created a benefits department. Then we created Cannabis Connect Insurance 5 years ago. And now we're a part of the Acrisure family. So watching him build a company was just incredible, and his leadership and trust in me really made a difference.
I've been fortunate enough to have a great network of people who've helped me get where I am today, including all of the managers and friends I've made since the beginning of my career. Everyone always challenged me to think outside of the box and be curious, especially when it comes to the insurance world. Once I learned more and became an expert in my field, They reminded me that the ability to influence and inform decision-making comes from speaking up and being an influence to others, just like they were for me. As for learning resources, I have too many to list. Of course, there's no better experience than jumping into the deep end, but I'm a big proponent of self-learning, and some of the articles I found through Harvard Business Review provided great insights and perspectives.
And if there's one thing I would say that really influenced my insurance career, it wouldn't be one specific mentor. It would be more of an extensive group of both peers and leaders within my organization and outside my organization that have really allowed for my continued growth and success in the industry.
I didn't necessarily have one single mentor, but rather I had many mentors. Whenever I needed help with anything, people were always willing to take me under their wing. When I got into the insurance industry, I could barely spell the word insurance, but my colleagues were there to mentor me, support me, and teach me. They were always ready and willing to lend a helping hand, and that's just the Marsh & McLennan way. And actually, today, we have a formalized mentorship program through Marsh & McLennan Agency, in which I am now a part of and mentor up-and-coming insurance professionals.
I think I've surrounded myself with several individuals that I could call mentors. I think it's important to surround yourself with people who will give you honest feedback. My main mentor has never sugarcoated anything to me. He knows my strengths and weaknesses. He always helps me look at the larger picture of the decision I'm about to make, but never gives me the decision he would make or the push in one direction. Always just allows me to make that choice.
I've been fortunate to have had several mentors, and I'm so thankful for all of them for sharing their experiences and having a positive impact on me. Mentorship is so important because at first, insurance is a lot like learning a new language. When I first started out, one of my early mentors was Caroline Wong. As an insurance industry veteran of 25 years, she had a lot of insider knowledge to share, but more importantly, she created a safe space for consultation. I always felt like I could ask her anything and that there were no dumb questions. I'm grateful her door was always open for me, and to this day, we still remain in very close contact.
If you would have pulled me aside during one of my college classes 10 years ago and said, "Hey Jess, you're going to end up in the insurance industry one day," well, I would have laughed and said, "I don't think you know me very well. I actually don't like insurance." So yes, I am very surprised that I am now in the insurance industry. But what attracted me to the industry is not insurance itself. It's the people, the ability to take care of our clients and colleagues, and provide necessary business solutions to the community.
You know, what had originally attracted me to the insurance industry was the resiliency of the industry through economic downturn. And at the time that I had graduated, it was 2009, and really insurance was the one path that I found that felt really stable. And I think that's been the case this past year through the pandemic as well, where, you know, it always felt like a very comfortable place to be despite everything that was going on in the world. So I think that's a really attractive feature of our industry.
I was fortunate enough to get into the insurance industry right out of college. My father owns his own insurance agency, so I started there for 2 years on the health and benefits side before transitioning to the P&C side.
What attracted me to the insurance industry, I would say, is probably similar to most. I don't think I necessarily chose the industry. I think it more chose me. I will say, though, that I've learned to grow and love the industry, not only for its extensive marketing opportunities and networking opportunities. There's definitely been a lot of relationships that I've built that I will take on through the rest of my career, but also really the stability, knowing that we are in an essential line of business. I think more than ever now, it's important to know that we do have that stability. And while the market may fluctuate, at the end of the day, we are going to be in a financially stable environment and industry.
I've been working in the insurance world focused on data, analytics, and technology since 2016, and I must admit that I'm surprised that I ended up in insurance when my original focus was art and technology. I still get to leverage those skills every day and in ways I never expected. In fact, I believe my background in design-led thinking is one of the reasons that complex data and software architecture feel like second nature to me.
What initially attracted me to insurance is that it has a reputation for being a relatively stable industry, but what's keeping me around is its entrepreneurial spirit, as there's so many things you can do and have growth with. You're always really just kept on your toes. I also love that it's still very relationship driven and relating to the people I work with, whether it be clients or brokers, and being a solutions provider gives me a sense and purpose at work and that what we do is essential for businesses. I am surprised this has been my career path because I fell into insurance right after college. It seems like many of us stumble in one way or another, so perhaps we need to do a better job collectively at endorsing the industry.
So I'm actually third generation in the insurance industry. My grandparents had a farmer's insurance office a very long time ago, and they actually retired around their mid-70s. So it was not only my mother's side of the family, but my father's side of the family as well. All of my uncles are in insurance, my cousins. If you're from California, you may have heard of some of us because we're kind of all up and down the coast, the Bizzutos. And so I, like many of you out there, we all kind of joke about it. We fell into it. I fell into it. Just hearing about insurance at the dinner table, it was really easy for me to fully understand insurance, understand what it was about, and that's how I got involved. So it was one of those things where it's just all around me. So it was very contagious to join the family business.
I was first introduced to the insurance industry by my dad. He's a reinsurance broker and always was trying to get me in. And eventually I gave in and through his help got an internship at Lloyd's of London. Once I got a taste of how the insurance industry interacted, I knew this was something I really wanted to be a part of. I think it's surprising that I'm still here, but it also makes sense because there's a lot of different skills and ways you can take your career within the industry. If you want something a little more creative, there are opportunities out there.
Find out what you're good at. You know, you might be good on the agency side, the carrier side, the TPA side. There's a bunch of different avenues within the insurance industry. Find what you're good at, and then find a company that not only invests in you monetarily, but also invests in your time, talent, and treasure, and gets you to that next level and is invested in you being successful.
For everybody that's getting in the industry or newer in the industry, I encourage you guys to work hard and find mentors that will guide you in where you want to be in the industry, and I think you'll find it to be very fulfilling.
My advice to people is just to be open-minded about different opportunities that may come your way, and whether it's working on a different team or working in a new territory or even relocating yourself, it's just amazing to see the opportunities that can come your way if you're willing to take a chance on doing something different or something new.
And now, back to our past honoree spotlight speaker, Courtney Davis Curtis, a 2017 Breakout Award winner. Courtney is the Assistant Vice President for Risk Management and Resilience Planning at the University of Chicago and provides leadership and direction to senior managers working to identify, evaluate, and plan strategies for the enterprise-wide insurance programs. Her focus is on maximizing protection of assets at the most economical rates and, of course, minimizing the effects of fortuitous loss. She also develops and directs risk management strategies and policies, which identify, assess, and mitigate the impact of risks originating from or impacting the enterprise's portfolio of activities and their interests. Courtney, take it away.
Hello, my name is Courtney Davis Curtis, and I'm the recipient of the inaugural Business Insurance Breakout Award in 2017. Currently, I'm the Assistant Vice President for Risk Management and Resilience Planning at the University of Chicago and URMIA, which is the University Risk Management and Insurance Association's president-elect. I've been in the risk and insurance industry now for 14 years since I graduated from college. And no, I didn't wake up one day and say, I am going to be in the insurance and risk profession. I didn't even really know much about insurance, let alone study it in college. But by happen chance, I stumbled upon an internship at a large brokerage that really enlightened me to what the industry had to offer. I went to school for marketing and had a certification in professional sales. So it was a natural linkage for me to want to begin my career in production at an insurance brokerage. I really connected with the team and professionals and clients whom I encountered during my week in the higher education practice and gained a better appreciation and understanding of the risk all around me, kind of connecting the dots being a college student at the time. The sales aspect was certainly something that was an attraction to me, and the higher education niche kind of felt familiar from a risk perspective. But as I grew to know the colleagues who served as amazing mentors and educators, and the clients who challenged me to do more and think differently, is really what kept me going on early in my career, kind of creating more opportunities for myself along the way. As cliche as it may be, and as often as you may have heard it, when you really break it down, the insurance industry is really about networking. It's why they say you never want to burn a bridge, because at the end of the day, your brand goes wherever you go. Now, the shifts I've made in my career really have come from the relationships I've built, the network I've maintained, and the brand that I've created. Taking a leap of faith to your next job or position is always easier when you have trusted allies surrounding you and others who keeping your best interest in mind as you're weighing these options and decisions that lie ahead of you. I would have never imagined that my next opportunity at another large brokerage would come from positive reports from clients or their leadership team hearing about me through RFP exercises that we competed on. Or it could have been when I coordinated a flash mob at an annual conference at IRMIA that many attended at the time. But it doesn't matter as long as the reputation that preceded me was backed by a knowledgeable expertise and capacity to grow. And that's what people were saying. I hope it's really useful to you to hear these insights from my career, because you never know how your next opportunity may come about. And it's important to never count yourself out either. I've always loved the job that I was doing, no matter who I was doing it for, because I really, truly have a passion about this industry. I am one of those insurance geeks that people talk about, but there's really a beauty in it all. Early in my career, I knew I would eventually become a risk manager and leave the brokerage world, but I couldn't have imagined it to come as soon as it did, or at such a great institution like the University of Chicago. I remember being on a call with the other client team who was serving the university at the time, and the current risk manager shared with us that he'd be leaving to take a role at another institution. We were all chatting and messaging each other thinking, wow, I wonder who they're going to get to replace him. And not too long after did my phone ring, and he suggested I apply to the job. And it really never even dawned on me. And there was a valuable lesson there. To not count myself out and constantly take a leap of faith. As much as I should be my biggest critic, I should also be my biggest advocate when those opportunities do come about. I happened to receive the Breakout Award 2 years into my role at the university. It wasn't my first professional award that I received in my career. I'm also a Power Broker recipient, but there was something that was just as important, or even more so, because it was an honor that reflected the path and the progress I made, including that important transition from the brokerage world to the client side. It was indicative just as much about my past and the progress, but also the future that lied ahead of me. And let's be honest, it feels great to be recognized by those who nominated you, those who served as a reference, and to receive the validation for this recognition among some standout professionals across the country. Sometimes it's just the motivation you need to push to new heights or to achieve more. At my local ceremony, when we were receiving the award in person, you could do things like that at the time. And I heard what is now my favorite quote, and it aligns with some of my earlier remarks, but it also something I've carried with myself through my professional career when I talk about my brand. And it goes like this: your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, and how you leave others feeling after having an experience with you becomes your trademark. And that's by Jay Danzy. Now, I want to share a bit with you about where things are in my career since I received the Breakout Award 4 years ago. Still at the University of Chicago. However, I've been promoted twice with an expansion of my responsibilities across the enterprise. Now, generally speaking, my progression at the university aligns with what most would anticipate in terms of continued depth in insurance and staying in that risk management role. Now, my promotion from director to executive director came with added responsibilities, naturally, including responsibility for the workers program that transitioned from the human resources team to my portfolio, as well as having a shared responsibility in the institution's enterprise risk management program. Now, my second promotion came about in a more untraditional fashion. I've been involved in the university's COVID-19 planning since January 2020. In the spring, there was the shift and transition from that immediate response about where are our people, how are we getting them back, and then, a stay-at-home order issued by the state and the city, to long-term planning. What is the next academic year going to look like? So an executive vice president for the institution was tasked with coordinating this planning effort, was seeking to find another individual on campus that could help her to facilitate this important planning effort. I simply raised my hand. I raised my hand without expectations of any additional support, financial recognition, or more time in the day to get the added work done. But I fully recognize that I would be embarking on something that hopefully is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in trying to help our institution navigate. And it happened to be right on time. When planning my long-term career objectives, it's always been important to me to think about what I want to do at the end of my career, right prior to my retirement, kind of beginning with that end in mind. I could always go deeper in insurance or even the risk and audit and ERM compliance route. I can venture back into the insurance brokerage role, or explore new opportunities within higher education or the healthcare industry. And certainly I knew that there would be risk, pun intended, for anything that I'd be looking to pursue, but was always trying to figure out how could I maximize the network I build or the expertise I gain with maintaining the insurance and risk portfolio somehow. There is a little bit of a clutch and confidence and expertise that I truly built in that area. So prior to the pandemic, I had a lot of honest conversations with my manager, as we all should do. We didn't necessarily have the answers about what that path looked like or knew exactly how a cost-benefit analysis would turn out. Should I pursue my MBA? Is there going to be value? Well, what do you want to do? But I'm happy to say a little bit over a year later that raising my hand has been a blessing. In the earlier days of my planning efforts, I had a temporary title to help with this new set of responsibilities that I've been deputized with, still the executive director for risk management, but also the special assistants for resilience planning. As the partnership forged with the executive vice president who was leading the charge, really found that there was something at this resilience planning role that could sustain COVID-19 and be a useful function for the institution. Whether it was due to the structures for scenario planning we created, the resilience action team that we established, or generally to assess what threats are there to the institution's imminence, whether it's hazard related like a pandemic or strategy related or otherwise. The real beauty of it all is that we're literally still honing this function that fits the needs of the institution and transcends COVID-19. And as I work to shape this function in collaboration with a number of people, I'm learning that other organizations and other industries are starting to consider the same. What I really love about this role is that it contemplates elements of my core background, such as the risk and insurance I keep mentioning, but also a little bit of this emergency management, business continuity, ERM, but allow me to do something new and maximize those various skills that I've been building over time. I've truly become a master facilitator, getting things done, working collaboratively, working to just about lead or operationalize anything that we've been tasked with. So now when I think about what I ultimately want to do, I've kind of charted two paths for myself: creating the preeminent resilience planning function or becoming a chief operating officer, both still allowing me to leverage my insurance and risk expertise here. The clarity I now have provides motivation and that driving force I can really get behind. Things have come full circle. It's kind of like a culmination of all of it. And I can proudly also share that I received the honor of being a woman to watch by Business Insurance in 2020, and also having been elected as president-elect for URMIA, an organization dear to my heart. While I shared some about my background and experience since receiving the Business Insurance Breakout Award, I wanted to now challenge you to strive for the greatness in all of your professional and personal endeavors. So I want to leave you with these few reminders. 1, create a network and build a brand. It is going to follow you wherever you go. 2, take a leap of faith and don't count yourself out for any opportunity or position. 3, do what you love. Have a passion or energy. People will see it and it will help to drive you. 4, be your biggest critic and biggest advocate. Closed mouths don't get fed. You got to fight for it, but you got to be honest with yourself at the same time. 5, become an expert. Become an expert in something. Be the one that people call for X, Y, or Z. Become an expert beyond the specific niche or industry that you're in. 6, raise your hands. No expectation. Just raise your hands for whatever the opportunity may present itself, because you never know how it may turn out to be. And remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, and how you leave others feeling after an experience with you becomes your trademark. Thank you.
In the South region, we have some big winners and are so excited to share with you a great group. Are you ready? Taking and leading us off, our first winner is Emily Beach, Edward Brown, Renee Bruns, Latasha Ellis, Felipe Garcia, DJ Jones, Kevin McCarthy, William Nichols, Karen Salmon, and last but not least, Kane Weber. Congratulations, guys.
Early in my career, I had 2 very impactful and influential mentors, Debbie Fisher and Lowell Price. I learned so much from Debbie about professionalism and career paths in the insurance industry. And Lowell, well, I will never forget the countless hours we spent in a conference room reading coverage forms and challenging the language that is so important in this industry. In recent years, Ben Lemon, Mandy Ogletree, and Jen Taden have been most instrumental in getting me where I am. Their never-ending support and guidance will always be with me. But I've also learned at this point in my career that a mentor doesn't have to be a superior or someone with more experience than you. I've learned to take tidbits of characteristics I admire from people all around me, those that report to me, those on different teams, and even those in different industries. We can all be mentors and mentees alike every day of our lives.
Throughout my career, I don't think I've had an official mentor that I would say I met with on a weekly or monthly basis, but I've certainly had multiple individuals and colleagues and friends that have helped me along the way, that have given me advice on not only how to conduct myself from a business standpoint, but also personally as well. So I think in every role that I've been in, I try to take advantage of those individuals that I'm involved with, to learn their strengths, to learn the way they operate, to learn their story about how they've gotten into the position that they're in, so that I can go about trying to ingrain some of those processes into my daily approach, so that I can one day get to the level and the positions that they're in as well.
I wouldn't be here accepting this award if it were not for my mentor and favorite sister, Shelly. Shelly is my only sister, and she is also 10 years older than I am. If we were able to be here in person, I'm for certain she would tell you that we were twins. Shelly's sarcasm is easily trumped by her ability to lead fearlessly with generosity and kindness. While these traits have always been present in her, they were forced out in front after Shelly was diagnosed with colon cancer last year during COVID. What I admired most during this time was Shelly's ability to wake up and take on every day head on without hesitation or fear. And instead of focusing on her own pain, She instead focused on how to give to others. She made a goal that every day she was going to give back. This included giving to food shelters and community shelters in need of items during COVID. But most importantly, it was giving time and space to friends, family members, and coworkers that were diagnosed also with cancer during this time. She provided mental guidance and positivity during their journey while never negatively being persuaded by her own.
I'm fortunate enough to have two amazing mentors, Blaise D'Antoni and Gary Batten. Blaise D'Antoni showed me how to be a great cat property underwriter and shared with me his risk selection skills. Gary Batten showed me what a leader looks like and how to inspire others by doing what is right for the ones that depend on you.
I am very surprised that I am currently in the insurance industry. And I think a lot of that has to deal with, I never even knew that lawyers worked in the insurance industry for whatever reason. So, but I have a significant amount of insurance experience prior to becoming a lawyer. And so the idea that I have been able to pair my legal skills with skills that I already possessed and knowledge that I already possessed from my insurance background has been delightful. And I think that it has served me well, and I hope to continue to serve others well with it.
But really, I love the broad scope of what you can do in the insurance industry. You know, from the outside, I never really thought there were so many layers and nuances and different things that could be done in the insurance industry, but it's really limitless and endless. And it's just such a great career and such a great place to be that I would highly recommend it for anybody. There's, regardless of whether you want to be at a desk all day and you like the details and analysis, or you want to be out in the field interacting with clients, there's really a home for any type of personality. And so I would strongly recommend it.
To be honest, I was attracted to the insurance industry because it was a job that enabled me to return to my hometown of Charlotte. I knew very little about the insurance industry and certainly E&S, but I like the people of Amwins, the humble beginnings of the company, and the vision to build a company that would stand the test of time, what we refer to as our 150-year vision. Now that I've spent some time in the insurance industry, it is a fascinating industry. There are so many different product angles, whether it's property and casualty, benefits, life insurance, primary and excess, reinsurance, small accounts, large accounts, industries, public entity, sports and entertainment, etc. Whether you're a mathematician, an extrovert, an introvert, if you're creative, you like technology, there are jobs for all skill sets. It's an amazing business. The industry also plays an important part in our society. The fundamental reason insurance exists is to be available to the unexpected. While the day-to-day life in insurance may be a grind, the big picture is we solve clients' problems. Whether you're a retailer, a market, a wholesaler, all of us are focused on providing peace of mind for the client.
I am surprised to be in the insurance industry. I'm here because of an opportunity with the University of Mississippi and a movie called Along Came Polly.
So initially I was attracted to the insurance industry while I was in college exploring different business majors. I realized that I didn't want to be a finance or accounting major, but I really liked math. So I started to look at what else I could do that had some sort of analytical component, but wasn't just finance or accounting, and landed on risk management and insurance. So I really liked the blend of, being analytical, fact-driven, but also had a ton of interpersonal communication and a lot of different career paths. I loved that you could be on the underwriting side, on the brokerage side, working for an organization in a risk capacity. So I just loved that there was so many different facets. I still appreciate that there are so many different facets and different career paths that you can take even once you're in the industry. So obviously, it's not surprising to me that I am in the insurance industry, given that it was my major and a big interest of mine just a few years ago.
First, find what interests you, because you'll learn it the best and you'll do the best at it if you find something that you're really interested in. But don't worry about finding that right away. Sometimes it takes some technical expertise to be able to fully appreciate what it is that you're doing. Second, always look for opportunities to create win-wins. There's disputes, but there's also lots of opportunities for win-wins, so look for those. And then finally, have fun. We all work really hard, but it's important to have fun as well.
This is an ever-evolving industry, especially with the pandemic. We have yet to see the impact of that and how that's going to impact commercial and public entities. But at the end of the day, it's just having the opportunity to become a subject matter specialist. I would recommend to latching on to a certain line of coverage or a discipline that interests you and become an expert at it so that you can then be able to provide that specialization to other people that need it. Furthermore, expanding your network, talking to risk managers, to CFOs, to IT individuals, to maintenance, whoever it is, so that you can pick their brain and really learn about their industry and what they're going through and their challenges, so that you can formulate solutions that make sense for your clients. It's again ever evolving, but I'm very privileged to be part of this industry. I'm excited. And I hope that you'll be excited as well.
My advice to new folks entering the industry is to learn. Let your mind become a steel trap. The industry is broad, and you never know when you might need a skill you could have bypassed the opportunity to learn. And the same goes with relationships. It's a heck of a lot harder to build a new bridge than it is to burn one down. The industry is small, and you never know when you might cross paths again. And when your next opportunity comes along, despite all your fears and hesitation, go for it. There's so much to offer in this industry, and the rewards are endless.
So I would say two things. The first thing is to always network, to meet as many people as you can in different areas of the industry. That helps you develop your skill set, but also helps you be connected to other people who may be able to help you. And the second thing I would say is to always be curious. The best way to really engage yourself in the industry and the profession is to ask questions and to be a lifelong learner.
The advice that I would give to new individuals joining the insurance industry is to just try to get involved as much as possible, to always raise your hand, to take on the difficult tasks, to take on the things that others may not want to take on. Because I think not only in the insurance industry, but in life in general, that's where you learn so much about yourself and you discover and develop new strengths that you didn't know existed. So I would say just constantly try to get involved, constantly raise your hand and take on as many responsibilities as you can so that you can not only learn more about yourself, but develop those skills and find an area of expertise that you can ultimately continue your career path down on.
Tossing it over to introduce our past honoree spotlight speaker, Ernie Bentley. A 2018 Breakout Award winner, Ernie leads the Risk Solutions division of Origami Risk, a provider of integrated SaaS solutions for risk and insurance in the industry, from insured corporate and public entities to brokers and risk consultants, insurers, third-party claims administrators, the TPAs, and risk pools. Over the course of a decade with the company, Bentley has contributed to the bottom line of Origami's clients through process, redesign, and the introduction of innovative methods that streamline claims and risk management practices. Prior to joining Origami, Bentley served in a number of very impressive roles, ranging from professional services to sales for other risk management software firms. Ernie, back over to you.
Hi, my name is Ernie Bentley. I'm president of Risk Solutions at Origami Risk and a 2018 Business Insurance Breakout Award winner. Congratulations to all the 2021 winners. It's a great honor, and I read through the bios and quite an impressive group. I'm glad I won it when I did, because I have a feeling up against competition like we had this year, I'm not sure I would have been in the group. So congratulations to everyone. It's a great testament to our industry and to each one of you, you personally as well. Time has obviously flown since 2018, and I was very surprised to have won it when I did. Back then, I was director of sales here at Origami. We were at the time a much smaller company and growing business. And I never really gave much of a thought to kind of my position in the insurance industry because likely very similar to many of you, I fell into it. I happened to have a friend that was working for Marsh that explained to me what he was doing and said, you seem like you'd be a fit. Why don't you come give it a shot? And so the story goes. And nearly 20 years later, here I am, still in the industry, and actually have come to immensely love this industry that we all work in together. What I have definitely found over the years is what has kept me here, and what I really appreciate about the insurance industry is the amount of opportunity it provides. Not only is it a very old industry, it's one of the oldest industries in the world. It is very multifaceted, and in the world that I live in technology specifically, there is a ton of opportunity for growth to make the industry better, that our clients the need, that ultimately the policyholders are looking for, and that the entire insurance value chain is looking for as well. So it's a tremendous amount of opportunity for growth and ways to make this industry better. So I've never found myself lacking for more ideas or new things that I wanted to accomplish in the industry, and it's been a great platform for me to kind of build a career upon, and I'm thrilled to be part of it as well. When I was named a Breakout Award winner in 2018, again, like I said, it took me by surprise. I was not aware that I'd been nominated, at least not very long prior to that, and it really meant a lot because I had always seen my career and the growth primarily for my family and myself, but it really made me realize I'm a part of something bigger than just simply a job or a career for myself or my own company, but part of a true industry in which we are working to make the world better, safer, more resilient, in which in today's world I know we're all focused on in our various ways as well. So it really meant a lot to me and kind of gave me pause to realize I am part of this larger industry that is really tied together in a way that means a lot to not only each other in our world, our industry, but the broader world as well. The question was posed to me as far as did I know I would end up where I am today at the time that I won the award. Of course, I've never really looked at my career as somewhere necessarily that I want a specific job or I want to do something specifically. I always had an affinity for sales, and I'm in the technology world, so I've always loved meeting with clients and prospects and understanding the intricate needs within the space of insurance. And I've always had an affinity towards that, so I've always been driven towards that. Moving into a role of the president that I did about a year and a half, or actually going on 2 years ago. It was never something I kind of had in the plan, or that it worked out that I think it was an opportunity. I was the right person at the right time for what the company needed. And I was thrilled to be in a position to be able to serve in this. But one thing that has come out of this transition out of sales directly into managing the division, which has professional services and sales component, and then product and everything within this, is I have to have a much broader view of our market. And by our market, I mean our industry. And we primarily serve in our division the actual policy holders. So most of our clients are corporate entities, government entities who are using the system on their own behalf. And what we are being pulled into more and more by our clients. And a lot of you are dealing with this as well, but it's not just about insurable risk anymore. It's not simply about claims and policies and the risk transfer part of the business, but much more about a true operational resilience of our risk managers, and our clients are being asked to do a lot more than just simply understand what can I get insurance to pay for, but it's actually thinking strategically around what risks is within the business are we able to take, what is the risk we're willing to take on, and how can we be mitigating that, and what controls should we have in place. So what I've loved about kind of the role that I find myself in today since winning the award is that I get to participate in a lot more thinking and conversation and strategy around how we're really adapting in order to accomplish those goals with our clients as well. Um, the question, the last question posed to me is, in the last 4 years, what would I attribute, success, how I got to the position I'm in today. And I've been very fortunate that I've been able to work for people, and specifically my boss is the CEO of Origami. I just working within proximity of him, the amount I've learned about just that, not only this business and this industry, but how to work with other people, how to best help people grow in their own careers, that kind of thing. That's a big part of the success that I've grown in. And then I've also had a number of peers and mentors that I've worked across that I can attribute a lot of what I've learned from as well. And I'll lastly say, I'd say the more important part of what I would consider kind of the secret to success is everyone that I work with shoulder to shoulder within the Origami organization, as well as our clients and prospects. The amount I learn and the amount you realize that it truly takes a team, and how well we can work together as a team to accomplish a single goal is really what's going to drive the success for the organization. So it's far from simple and individual success or what I'm looking to accomplish simply for myself. Of course, we all have our own goals and our own aspirations, but if those, in this world that we live in, especially in commercial insurance, if those aren't quickly associated with a larger team goal or a group goal, you're not going to get very far with that as well. So that's been a lot of what I've been working on since then. I look back very fondly at the time that I won this award and was very honored to have received it, and appreciative of Business Insurance and the rest of the team that the selection team with as well. And just a final, congratulations to everyone for the 2021 winners as well. It's a great award to have received, and says a lot about each one of you individually. So congratulations.
Well, all right. Drum roll, please, for our Midwest region winners. An impressive group indeed. Are you ready? All right. Chris Butler, Gerran Geyser, Cody Griffin, Laura Johnson, Stacy Kroll, Brad Nabel, Rob Quast, Lacey Rex, Sam Tashima, and finally, David Wald. Congratulations, guys. I know incredible leadership will come from this group in the future. I'm positive of that, and I can't wait to see where they go.
I've had numerous mentors throughout my career in insurance. One person in particular gave me this advice: chaos breeds opportunity. This may seem a little draconian, but what he meant by it was that change will be the one constant as you move through your career. Don't run away from it, but harness it and the opportunities that it brings. I give him and all the others full credit for inspiring me to turn my work in the industry into a career and to set my sights high. The amount of time, energy, and likely a little bit of their sanity went into getting me to this point. I continue to place a lot of value in mentoring relationships, and I'm really pleased that I now mentor quite a few individuals as well as I look to pay it forward.
I've had two different mentors throughout my insurance industry career. The first one was assigned to me when I was an intern at Arthur J. Gallagher, and it's someone who answered all of my insurance industry questions at the beginning, introduced me to imperative people within the organization, and really helped catapult my insurance career. The second was someone I sought out when I came to AXA Excel. It's someone I knew I had very much in common with, someone I knew that I wanted to be like when I grew up in the industry, and someone who was able to connect with me with being a mom, being a new management leader, and also help honing in on the skills that I needed to further my career.
I actually have several mentors that I rely on. They each serve their own unique purpose in my professional development and my career strengthening. What I find really important in these relationships is that we have a space for trust and there's a space for me to be vulnerable, particularly when we're doing a self-reflection or an assessment and saying that there's a particular gap that I feel like I've approached and I need help navigating that gap, and also developing strategies to kind of bridge that gap and make me a stronger professional on the other side. And these mentors have been so instrumental in that, and I certainly credit them with a lot of where my success is today.
And yeah, I absolutely had a mentor. My mentor was our previous VP of corporate insurance for the Kroger organization. And when I came to Kroger, I was not in the insurance space. I was more of finance and accounting background, and I got to know Jim. And I remember thinking about Jim and Jim being cool. He made his job look cool. He was fun, he was energetic, he was highly respected, not only within the organization, but outside the organization as well. And when I was presented the opportunity to be Jim's replacement, I remember thinking, what a cool opportunity that would be. And Jim always talked about the role as being an ambassador of Kroger to the outside insurance community. And at the time, I didn't totally understand or comprehend what he was saying. But as I got into the position, I realized how important it was, the work that Jim was doing and how highly respected he made himself and Kroger to the outside insurance community. And I remember just thinking how cool that was and what a prestigious honor that was.
Over my professional career, I've been fortunate to have numerous mentors and coaches. I like to call them my personal board of directors. As we benefit from having diversity in the workplace, I've personally benefited from having diversity among my mentors and advisors, whether that be professional, educational, tenure, even family situations. They've provided me with a sounding board for advice, and they've also been able to provide me with perspectives that help round out my decision making that I wouldn't have otherwise.
My boss from a former company recruited me into the insurance industry. So initially it was really the people that I knew and the specific opportunity that attracted me to the industry. I may not have expected to remain in industry for this long, but over time I've grown to really love what I do and love the insurance industry. And what surprised me about the industry is the diversity of talent and skill sets that exist within an insurance organization to meet marketplace demands and meet the needs of our customers. By virtue of us competing across multiple lines of business and industries and segments, whether it's in healthcare or manufacturing or construction or cyber or financial institutions or professional services, just for example, you're working with incredible professionals who are passionate and who are across disciplines and who come to their jobs with just a wealth of experience and deep specialized industry expertise. And it's really that opportunity to learn and the diversity and the skill sets of those folks and the wonderful people that you work with that's kept me in the insurance industry and keeps me energized.
What attracted me to the industry was the people, the personalities, the competitive nature of the industry. It just sounded really good when someone from Arthur J. Gallagher came in at the time and was proposing this internship. That sounded exactly like what I wanted to be a part of. And am I surprised that I'm still in the industry? Not at all. I have a great boss, a great team, a great company. I love collaborating with my brokers, my claims team, legal. My experience so far has been nothing short of amazing.
One of the aspects about the insurance industry that truly drew me to it was how we can leverage math and data and analytics to help mitigate risk and solve problems. A similar component that surprises me about the insurance industry, but still really excites me, is how the business environment is continually changing. There are risks around intellectual property, cyber, even cryptocurrency crime that didn't exist previously. And we're being asked to form new solutions using the insurance building blocks to help solve the risks that our clients have.
I had what, in hindsight, I see as the good fortune of graduating with a finance degree in the winter of 2008. This was not optimal for someone who wants to get into trading stocks and working on Wall Street, but it was a blessing in disguise. The job that I had lined up got frozen. So I was working at a grocery store and I was combing through job sites and I saw an ad for an underwriter training program. I applied and I got the call the next day. And this is what makes me think it was really meant to be, because the person they had hired dropped out at the last minute and they needed someone to fill the spot. So enter me. I still remember my first my first week as an underwriter trainee. I was in a new business roundtable with all of my peers, and I remember how amazed I was at how knowledgeable all of the underwriters were on so many different topics. And I mean, really random things, items like waste disposal injury rates to liability associated with fish hatcheries. But it made me realize that as a person who was always curious about even the most arcane things, this really was the place for me.
I would say bring your authentic self to work. There is no traditional mold that you need to fill, and there's no rule book to success. So if you try to, suppress, where you're from or your gender, or your cultures or your orientation or your race, you'll exhaust yourself. And diversity of thought, to me, has really contributes to the ability to identify problems, and then it also contributes to the ability to find solutions. So I would encourage you to be yourself, and you really do the best job.
I think it's important for the younger generation to not be afraid to do the small jobs. I think you need to fully understand what it takes to be successful. And it's doing whatever job that needs to get done and making yourself available to do those, not to be considering yourself too big to do a small job. The small things is what makes up this industry, and doing the small things right is what, leads to success. Absolutely. Take care of the small things.
And I would really just say, remove all your preconceived notions about insurance. I think when young folks that don't really understand insurance, they might think of, well, I've got to buy my auto insurance and I've got to buy my homeowners or renters insurance. Or my parents, they have this insurance agent and they insure some of my parents' house or car or maybe a business. And that is an aspect of insurance, no doubt. But insurance is so much broader than that. There's so much breadth to it. It's really about risk management, understanding what the risk of organizations are, how to protect those risks. There's all sorts of strategic initiatives and different ways you can do that.
For everyone who's new to this space, I think the couple biggest things to keep in mind are not to be afraid. It's not that scary. There's a ton of opportunity and there's incredible people in this space. And so as we think about the best ways to go forward, we feel there's a huge transformation coming. There's a phenomenal amount of shift, an incredible amount of opportunity. And I think it's going to create wins for everybody across the ecosystem. And so we look at it as an opportunity for collaboration and want to make sure that we can get enough good talent to come to this space who isn't scared of, the different vocab, who isn't afraid of insurance, which people on the outset may not realize is as full of opportunity as it actually is. And so for everyone who's new to this space, don't give up, reach out for help. I think you'll find it's incredible over here. And we look forward to having everybody continue to be successful here and hopefully look forward to some many great things to come from this phenomenal group as part of the award winners this year.
Now, it's my pleasure to welcome past honoree spotlight speaker, Megan Miller, a 2017 Breakout Award winner. Megan is the executive director of the Spencer Educational Foundation. A lot of you know that through RIMS, a 41-year-old nonprofit whose mission is to fund the education of tomorrow's risk management and insurance leaders. No stranger to the industry, Megan worked for 16 years in various technical and sales roles at large property and casualty companies. Concurrent to this professional experience, Megan has been an avid fundraiser, traveling to Cambodia, Tanzania, Malaysia, and India to work as a volunteer as well. She also spearheaded fundraising to build a community center in Zambia. Megan's current role at the helm of the Spencer allows her to merge her understanding of the insurance industry with her passion for certainly a worthy cause.
Hello, business insurance friends.
My name is Megan Miller, and I'm the Executive Director for the Spencer Educational Foundation. As you might know, Spencer supports future industry leaders through our 5 grant programs. We're best known for our scholarships, and we also have other programs that provide funding for internships in risk management departments. We provide funding for course development at universities so more and more students can study to be in our great profession. We provide small stipends to risk managers to go onto campus and teach experiential learning. And we provide grants for experiential learning opportunities, such as sending students to conferences and symposia where they can network and learn what our industry is all about. Our main goal through these programs is to manufacture talent and produce great leaders for the future. So of course, Spencer can't do any of this without the great support of the industry and the very generous people who work in it. And that's all of you who are listening right now. So let me just do a quick announcement that our annual Funding Their Future campaign just kicked off. And so if you love our industry and you care about its future and the talent that's coming into it, please visit us at spencered.org. That's spencered.org, and drop us a couple bucks if you're so inclined. So thanks for humoring me there and letting me get in that quick plug. I just wanted to start by saying I'm really honored to have been invited back to speak at this year's Breakout Award ceremony. Congrats to all the 2021 winners. We just can't wait to see all the waves you're going to continue to make in the industry. I was lucky enough to receive this award back in 2017. I had just recently made a big career leap at the time. I had been working at Swiss Re for the previous 8 years, and I really loved my roles there, in particular managing some of the company's largest clients and broker partners. And although I was having nice success climbing the corporate ladder and getting more responsibility, I was eventually lured away to work as a producer at a small broker. So this was a pure sales role, very much eat what you kill type of situation. I had developed a very solid network of contacts, so I thought maybe I had what it took to drive business to my new employer. And my start was quite promising. I was getting meetings with some big Fortune 50 companies. Opportunities were starting to come in. I received my Breakout Award that year in 2017, and it was the same week that I had this really big client meeting to make a pitch for their business. And the meeting went well, but then after that, everything really just slowly started to fall apart. We didn't get the deal. My meetings started to dry up. I had kind of run through my list of contacts. No one was looking to switch brokers. And so I found myself making cold calls, reaching out to people I didn't know, and just in a position where I just wasn't happy with the work I was doing every day. So every day I was kind of waking up sort of dreading what was going on. And so, you know, one thing led to another. And of course, eventually I parted ways with my employer. And, you know, I'll just say it bluntly, I was let go. So that was a big blow to me. And at the same time, I had just found out that I was pregnant again with my 3rd child at the time. So I started interviewing right away. I didn't want to be pregnant and unemployed. And, you know, I was having meetings with different companies and getting the same message every time, which was, you're lovely, you seem like you could be a good fit, but let's talk after your maternity leave. And there is no maternity leave when you're unemployed, right? I guess it's just maternity at that point. So here I am in this situation. It was November. I was due in April. I would need at least a couple of months after having the baby to kind of recover. And I'm looking at, you know, probably at least 9 months to a year of unemployment ahead of me with, you know, soon to be 3 kids to take care of. So I'm a very industrious person, and I just sort of got to work right away doing whatever I could. I got my real estate license. I ended up taking a part-time job through a friend working for a small nonprofit that was supporting women and girls in East Africa. And, you know, I kind of tried to have this renewed sense of, you know, let's see what else is out there. I've been in insurance for a long time. Let's find a new purpose. Let's find a new passion. But I realized pretty quickly that I was just completely lost. The real estate sales were not unlike the producer sales, just out there selling yourself and trying to get traction where oftentimes there was none. And, working for the nonprofit was extremely meaningful. I actually got to travel to Tanzania with that role and meet a lot of people and see the good work that we were doing, but I had no network in this space. I had no pool of donors that I knew were interested in that cause. And so, I really just started to doubt myself and wonder what had happened to my successful career. Was this the mom penalty that I had been warned about? Was that really a thing? My kids are really awesome. I have 4 kids, 8, 5, 3, and 9 months old now. And I love being a mom, but I love working. I love sitting down and solving problems, connecting the dots and connecting people. So I was going to do both, mom penalty be damned, pardon my French, but one way or another, I was going to do both. And so in April, about 2 weeks after my daughter was born, I got back out there and just started interviewing again and see if any doors would open back up into the industry. And of course, eventually one did, right? So here I am. But, before I kind of finish the story, I just wanted to take a step out and say, I've read all the inspirational quotes about learning through failure and taking risks and so forth. And honestly, I felt like a lot of that was BS, right? Like, who wants to learn through failure? Like, I just want to be successful and increasingly successful, just like everyone else. And looking back, I believe that I took the path I needed to take to get here, but really, couldn't we all do without all that hand wringing and uncertainty and some level of bitterness, right, about losing my job. But, I did learn some lessons, like number one, how much I hate sales, thank you, and how important it is to work at the right company, one that really fits you well, and looking out for those warning signs, like don't ignore those signs when you're interviewing, even when you're new to the role. And the number one thing was really always give love to your network, right? Like, you put your head down, you work, you do a great job, but you have to come up for air, reach out to your friends, your colleagues, your mentors, even when you don't need to, right? There's a big world outside of your office walls, and you have to always look at that bigger picture and not just get bogged down at climbing in the position that you're in currently. So, I'm sure a lot of you are multitasking right now and doing emails while you're listening to me. And I respect that because I do it all the time. So I just want to say that again. So I'm going to pause and make sure everyone's listening, but give love to your network. So if you do one thing for me today, after you're done listening to this and finishing up that email, write to the person that you would write to if you found out today that you lost your job. So reach out to that person or persons and just say, hey, how are you doing? Make sure that you're current with those people that you can rely on when you need them. And don't wait until the moment that you need them. You have to cultivate and nurture those relationships. So please do that. And just to wrap up my story, so someone very influential in my network is Mariah Propus. Many of you know Mariah. She's a wonderful force of nature, and she has just been probably one of the best things that's happened to Spencer. So she was the chair of Spencer when I joined. So she created the executive director role. And we had been talking about me potentially working for her at her company, but then she threw this at me instead. And I said, as it happens, I'm a Spencer Scholar. I received a Spencer Scholarship in the past. And I also have been acting as an executive director of a nonprofit for the past 6 months. Go figure. So it was really just one of those stars align moments. And since joining Spencer in 2019, I've gone on to have my 4th child, who is now 9 months old, as I mentioned, during a pandemic, no less. And then I received the Business Insurance Women to Watch Award at the end of 2020. So, I kind of came through the muck. I was really flying high when I got the Breakout Award in 2017. And, things kind of sunk. That was probably the lowest point in my career in the years that followed, but now I feel like I'm back up higher than before. So thank you for listening. Congrats again to this year's winners. Keep in mind your career path, it's not going to be a straight line. That's okay. Hold on to your network and just keep on going, even when you find yourself in a spot where things aren't the easiest. Thanks again, everybody, and thanks again for letting me give a little plug about Spencer as well.
And now we are ready to reveal the Northeast Region winners. I hope you know some of the great folks in this winner's circle. Are you ready? Charlotte Allen, Nerese Shales, Olivia Doridian, Kevin Johnson, Merrick Kroka, Kimberly Mann, Raymond A. Macia Jr., Leon Poix, Christopher Pizzo, and last but not least, Miranda M. Rodriguez.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Allen. I can't believe I won a Breakout Award this year. I am thrilled. I want to thank the folks that nominated me. And to be honest, when I first got the email, I thought it was a phishing email. I guess that's what happens when you're a risk manager. You think it's phishing, and I reported it to my company. But I'm so thrilled. And while I haven't had a formal mentor, there have been so many people that have helped me along the way. And I want to thank my team, our leader, my company, Commonwealth, and Business Insurance. Thank you so much. Completely surprised, honored.
Wouldn't say I had a specific mentor. I did have a lot of people who helped me along the way in various ways, opening up doors, introducing me, willing to train. I was always a sponge. I will say that Grace Thomas at Great American was the first person that acted as a mentor, even if we did not have that specific mentor-mentee relationship. She really gave me an opportunity to flourish and believed in me. Since then, I've been at Swiss Re for 8 years, and it's been a truly great experience. I've had so many people help me since I've been here in various ways. And I wish I could name them all, but I'm trying to keep this video brief. I will have to give a shout out to my current boss and leader, Uta Michelson. She has been a true mentor to me over the past several years, and I think she's been instrumental not only in me being in the role I am today, but just the growth that I've experienced as an individual and in my career over that time.
So I have had several mentors and sponsors throughout my career. And these are really people that have taken an interest in me and my development very early on. But also on the flip side, I've really tried to do the same for them. And to me, mentorship is a critical two-way street, and it's allowed me the opportunity to grow and develop, both technically from an underwriting perspective, but also from a wider strategic lens, from a business impact, from a business challenge perspective as well.
I've had numerous mentors in my career and learned from so many different people. The single most important mentor has been my father, who instilled a great work ethic in me and taught me the importance of continuous learning. He was relatively strict growing up and instilled many of the basics in my sister and I: hard work, timeliness, responsiveness, developing a strong routine, being adaptable, teamwork, and open-mindedness.
It's not often that we think of the greatness we're capable of until someone reminds us that we're already breaking barriers. So this award to me means that, hey, I can do great things. I want to sincerely thank the individual who nominated me for this award, along with my mentors who have so tirelessly supported me through it all. It really does take a village. I have been so fortunate through my career to have had mentors who sacrificed their time, their talent, and their treasures in supporting me on my journey, educating me on a host of topics from technical skills to how to catch more bears with honey. We need those people on our side to lift us, to encourage us, to support us during the tough times, and to celebrate with us during our victories.
So I was attracted to the insurance industry in a sort of a roundabout way because I started at a small credit insurance company and, that just did credit insurance. But when I moved to a larger insurance company, I was really attracted to the people who worked there and how they were so intelligent and so knowledgeable about their product and the underwriting there, anything from construction to aviation to marine. And what I thought was really interested, and I still is very interested, it's still very interesting in the insurance industry, is that there's almost a thread that is woven between all of us because we're all so skilled, but in just different niche skill sets. And that sort of strikes me, or I see an opportunity of being collaborative, in terms of like reaching out to other people and understanding how our products overlap or how our functions overlap. So the whole collaboration is an important aspect, and it still is. And yes, I am very surprised sometimes that I am in the insurance industry, but it is a changing industry.
So my initial attraction to the insurance industry was actually around having family in the business. And at an early age, when I was kind of making major life decisions, I had that understanding for how broad the industry truly is. And that led me to Temple University, actually, where as a freshman, I began studying risk management and insurance. And my thought process at the time was, I'm at a large university with many options, and I can change my mind. I obviously did not, and I quickly was hooked into the industry, knew that I found a lifelong career. And part of the reason why is I quickly understood the breadth of impact our industry has on both individuals and businesses during some of their most challenging times, really, and the role we step in and fill during that time period. And to me, that provides the special purpose of work for us on a day-to-day basis.
Like so many of us, I started in this business almost by accident right out of college. But after about 10 years in the industry, I can say that every single day is engaging and challenging and interesting, and I'm always learning, and I really enjoy it.
While I did not have any specific mentors, I feel that every supervisor helped me influence my career path in some way. My background in environmental engineering and first job in environmental consulting helped create my path to environmental insurance. Without a nudge from my friend's mom, who also worked in the industry, I would not have known to apply for a position in insurance. After researching underwriting positions, being a pollution underwriter seemed to be the best next step in my career. There is so much to learn within this industry, which I think makes insurance an attractive area to work in.
I certainly didn't anticipate a career in the insurance industry, but as a corporate lawyer, there are a few fields where your contribution makes a daily difference in the success or failure of the business that you serve. It has been tremendously professionally rewarding to me, and I recommend it wholeheartedly to new graduates from school at every chance I get. I tell them about the advantages of our business, and that no matter what your passion, be it technology, finance, sales and marketing, or certainly the law, as I know well enough, this is a business where you can develop your skills to their fullest extent. And as they do that, I often say that there are certain principles to live by in this business. And one is that while the rules and regulations that govern our field can sometimes feel restrictive and burdensome, if you approach your daily business with an attitude of innovation, an attitude of problem solving, and certainly an attitude of good humor, there's no limit to what you can achieve in this field. And second, never forget that as we focus on the innovation and development of our space, that this is a personal service business, and developing relationships is the bedrock of success here, even more than many other businesses. Your reputation will precede you, and this is a small, small world. It will shock you how small the insurance business can be. So build on a solid foundation, and you'll have great success. These are principles I try to live by, and with the support of my friends, my colleagues, and my family, and my clients, I look forward to many more years of happy work and success in our dynamic business.
Build relationships and actively seek mentors from as many different backgrounds and skill sets as possible. It's important to form a full understanding of the industry, the business, which will ultimately enable you to shape your career and align that with your skill sets.
And for anyone coming into the field, my advice to you is get creative. This is really an awesome field, and I love what I do, and I can help protect the company and the people that I care about that work with me.
For any new individuals in our industry, my advice would be first to latch on to a mentor and let them teach you and guide you throughout your career, but also, and very importantly, to stay curious, because if the last year has taught us anything, it's that risk is changing and evolving, and those that are most creative are the ones who find success in our industry.
My advice to those who are new to the insurance industry is don't be afraid to ask questions. You learn something new every day.
For my insurance newbies, I encourage you to go the extra mile in everything you do. No matter how big or small, no matter how many accolades you get or don't. Introduce yourself, connect with others, go to that networking event, stay the extra hour in the office, show up, give back, seek support, and be a supporter. So in closing, I want to extend additional thanks to my number one supporter, my husband. Thank you for being an equal partner and a fierce advocate, for prioritizing me and my career, for being an incredible father to our two beautiful children, especially during this pandemic. This award is as much for you. And so to those who say that you can't have it all, challenge accepted.
All right, guys, I am so excited to introduce our past honoree and spotlight speaker, Michael Hessling, a 2017 Breakout Award winner. Since 2012, Mike has been a key member of Gallagher Bassett's GB, we say for short, Global Leadership Team. Upon joining the organization as GB's first Chief Client Officer, Mike quickly established innovative practices around client service management, built industry-leading analytical capabilities and innovations, and enhanced the organization's go-to business development approach. Under Mike's leadership, GB's North America business has enjoyed extraordinary client satisfaction, retention, and growth. In February 2020, Mike was promoted to Chief Executive Officer for North America, where he now leads over 4,000 team members, inclusive of GB's North American claim operation. Take it away, Mike.
You know, my journey in the insurance industry is rather unique in that I didn't start in insurance, but rather I started in professional services, in particular consulting. And for folks familiar with consulting careers, you would know that it's not a question of if you're going to leave consulting, but really a question of when. And that when is a matter of the right opportunity at the right time. For me, that right opportunity was joining the Gallagher organization. It was an organization I was already familiar with and really valued its shared tenets, known as the Gallagher Way. These tenets bring the organization together and really describe the way we work together as a team. And all of that starts with our leadership, specifically Pat Gallagher and Scott Hudson, two individuals I admired greatly and wanted to work for throughout my career. It's been an incredible blessing to be part of the organization, and I'm as excited today as I was 9 years ago. What I've also come to appreciate is in those 9 years, how vitally important insurance is to the overall business environment. Without it, businesses don't exist. Entrepreneurs aren't willing to take the chance to start something new. Customers may be less willing to shop in retail and restaurant environments. Workers may be less inclined to go to work out of fear for their safety. Insurance really provides the backstop to make sure that businesses move forward. And in particular, when I think about insurance in the claims industry, which is where I work, I realize how important it is that we ultimately fulfill the promise of insurance. We help put lives back together, especially for individuals when they are most vulnerable. I'm incredibly proud of the work that we do and the noble efforts of our team to help put lives back together day in and day out. When I think about what the Breakout Award means to me, it's really a matter of different points in time. 4 years ago, when I first won the award, it really meant validation for me. Validation that I made the right choice to join the insurance industry, and that my peers and colleagues had recognized the impact I had had both in our organization and across the industry more broadly. But what's interesting is that validation quickly fades, and what you come to appreciate is it also means expectations. Because as a winner of the Breakout Award, you're expected to do great things within our industry. It's kind of like winning the Rookie of the Year award in a sport. It's great that you had a good start, but you want to have a great career, and really you're only at the midway point if you've won a Breakout Award. So it's what you do in the future that's ultimately going to measure the success of your career. Finally, it also means to me obligation. As a Breakout Award winner, you have an obligation to be able to help develop other people's careers, to help them be successful, and to see the importance of the insurance industry to the overall business environment. This is something I've taken very seriously, and I'm incredibly proud that we've had 3 additional Breakout Award winners since I was an original winner back in 2017. When I think about where I was 4 years ago, I can't say back then that I expected to be where I am now. But what I do know is that as long as you're focused on having a positive impact on the organization you're a part of, that you work well with others in a collaborative way, and that you're focused on driving results, good things will happen throughout your career. That's been the case for me up until this point, and I know it'll be the case going forward. And I think that's what's most important, is the work that you do, the impact that it makes, and how you affect others that you work with that ultimately are the measure of success within your career. You know, over the last 4 years, there's been many things that have contributed to my success. First is my family. They are my biggest cheerleaders, and without their support, my career success wouldn't be possible. They're also at times my biggest critics. They'll watch this video and I have no doubt they'll find reasons to poke fun at Dad, which is really important because it helps keep me grounded at work. Second is having phenomenal role models, and I look at individuals like Pat Gallagher and Scott Hudson who really set a vision for our organization, build great teams, and help motivate all of us to be our best. I hope to emulate both of them throughout my career. And finally, it's the colleagues I have the privilege to work with at Gallagher Bassett. There are so many individuals who are passionate about serving our clients and their claimants that it only helps to motivate me to be my best each and every day. And I know that will continue to be the case throughout my career. I also want to thank Business Insurance for the great work it does behind the Breakout Awards. It was a privilege to win the award back in 2017 and had a great deal of impact on my career. It's also a vitally important program to recognize talent throughout our industry. Those individuals that are going to help shape the future of what it means to be an insurance professional. I'm incredibly grateful to be a past winner, and I certainly look forward to celebrating the success of future winners as well. Thanks again, everybody.
Thanks, guys. What a great job, and what an incredible, incredible day. And that wraps up the 2021 Business Insurance Breakout Award winners. Congratulations to all the winners. They couldn't be more deserving. I'm so honored to be here today with you to unveil all these wonderful winners, and I hope to see all of you soon. You have done a wonderful job. You've worked hard. You've earned this. And from us at Business Insurance to you, bravo. Keith, back to you.
Congratulations to our 2021 Business Insurance Breakout Award winners. And thank you for joining us today in your support of Breakout Awards. We look forward to returning to our live regional celebrations of Breakout Awards in 2022. To learn more about this impressive 2021 class of Breakout Award winners, please go to businessinsurance.com or pick up a current issue of Business Insurance Magazine. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Acclaimant, AIG, Alliant, XXL, and Sedgwick. Thank you again for your support of Breakout Awards. We've got a great calendar of events coming up, starting with our long-term care event, July 15th and 16th. To learn more about our upcoming events, please go to businessinsurance.com and check out our event pages. Thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see you this summer.